Legal, yeah, look. You're a illegal, yeah, look. Free health care for illegal, yeah, look. You're a To me, Corona means Italy. Biden will deliver pessimism.
I don't read, obviously.
Free health care for illegal, yeah, look. Illegal, yeah, look. Company that his son worked for, that's your investment.
Hi. Yeah, there it is. Hi. How are you? Hi. What's happening, people? Oh, boy. Man. So I have a crap ton of work to do. And it's a bit crazy over here at Rancho Relaxo Crazy Pants. And I've been hanging out with you guys very well into the evening when I should be shooting. And it's catching up with me. The hours are going to get crazy this week. We got a Sexy Liberal show this Saturday, sexyliberal.com for tickets, VIP meet and greet on Saturday night, and then, of course, the hangover brunch on Sunday. Trump walked out of a CNN interview. Besides calling them dumb bastards, did they ask him about him calling them dumb bastards? Was it an actual interview, or was it... Because honestly, like, at this point, like, he just walks away from everybody. It's good to see you guys, too. Hey, what's happening? I think it was a 60 Minutes interview? Breaking now. Oh, I see. You abruptly left. That's fun. Hold on. We'll go to, let's see if I can find, I'll go to CNN site live. That's fun. So, yeah. Oh, I see. He was taping a joint interview with Pence for, oh, I see. He was doing a 60-minute interview. President Trump, here it is. President Trump abruptly ended a solo interview with CBS's 60 Minutes Tuesday and did not return for an appearance he was supposed to tape with Vice President Mike Pence, according to multiple sources familiar with what happened. After camera crews set up at the White House on Monday, Trump sat down with host Leslie Stahl for about 45 minutes. I saw he just posted a picture of her without a mask. Now, the understanding I get is that she's on camera. Everyone else around her is wearing a mask. She's just gotten up from shooting, so she's speaking to people who are wearing masks. She's not wearing one herself. She didn't wear one for the interview. And then she puts one out when she leaves the room. They're in an enclosed space. Of course, it's the White House, so she could get syphilis from the armchairs at this point, thanks to Trump. He abruptly ended the interview and told the network he believed they had enough material to use, according to two sources. He had to shit. He shit his pants. That's why he said it. That's what happened. He left. Hashtag prove me wrong. With about 2 weeks left into the election, Trump he shit his pants. That's what that was. That's not him. She didn't ask a touchy question. The interview is slated to air this Sunday. Will they stand outside the bathroom door knocking in classic 60-minute style? Mr. President, we'd really like to finish this. I'll be out to... Oh, boy, look at those fish delights. Fish delight, you were my friend. Somebody told me steroids bind you up. That is so not true. Thanks, Christina F. Oh my God, CSL. Yesterday was crazy. The whole Rudy Giuliani thing can just be one chunk. I don't think anybody's going to want to watch pieces of that madness. Bless your heart. Thank you. What else you got? And today's going to be a short day, by the way, because I have I have shooting and editing to do. I'm cutting a piece that has to be delivered today, so I got to kind of do my thing for Sexy Liberal and stuff. I got to, the standard is pretty high, guys. Just saying, the amount of the sketch work I'm doing on this friggin' show, and the fact that oh no, there's a rally. Oh, okay. It's not till later. Shit. I don't understand this lead singer of Blind Melon's gay cover band dude who works for Right Side. This guy. He's one of their regulars. It's the oddest.
We're so handsome when you smile. So shout out to...
See what I mean? I don't know what the hell that is going on here. Can you imagine? I can imagine myself, and I have many, many times in my life, sitting down and talking with a fellow like Scott. I'm assuming his pronouns. I apologize, but I'm guessing because he's at a Trump rally, it's pretty rock solid. But I think, I've said, now I know a lot of people who sound like Scott, look like Scott, act like Scott, other than being Trump supporters. You know what I mean? But I don't understand what he's doing there in his Trump campaign gear. He's got an American flag scarf on because it's chilly. He's got an American flag toque. That's going to be a collector's item. Is there a one-term bin at Cracker Barrel? All right. Anyways. All I can say is that my life is pretty plain. I like watching the maggots gather rain. Anniversary dinner with the fam. I'll be back afterwards. I understand the moms. I won't be here when you're back because this will be a short one. Rob, do not miss it. 90 minutes of hilarity. Oh, really? God damn it. Oh, Rob, you're killing me. Oh, which one are you talking about? This or the... Which thing are you talking about? This rally? Oh, God. I don't know where. Okay. Oh, Sexy Liberal. Yeah, good. Phew. Yes. Sexy Liberal's pretty solid. I just did a cartoon called Eric the Happy Pig for it. And I'm doing a country song, which I'm shooting the video for today. And then I'm shooting gym footage in about 5 minutes to give to after I get done. Oh, yes, thanks, Rob. You panicked me. I was like, oh, don't tell me this is like one of the funnier rallies, and he finally bit it, and then we're all stuck doing this. Yeah. So there's I went through that whole friggin' Giuliani thing. I thought you may do well, the problem is, can't stop lying, is the Rudy Giuliani cigar thing. First of all, I can't tell. We already have Rudy in the show this time, but unless you watch that with me, you don't know how screwed up that is. Yeah, it's too much of an in-joke. Like, we're the only people who watch that. I'm sure a bunch of people on the right did, but none of the people in the that watch Sexy Liberal regularly are going to have ever seen that. Seriously. I just get total crickets and go, well, of course, yeah, I guess Rudy Giuliani he probably would do a cigar commercial. Like, no, you don't understand. This is dead on. This is perfect. He's telling people he wants to do 5 rallies a day. Yeah, I saw that, which is BS, which means he can only do 1 and they can't admit it. They did 2 in a day and he was fading. So now they're only doing 1. And so the way that they're backing out of that, I'm like, this is so friggin' predictable at this point. Honest to God. I know, like, I'll show you guys if you don't know what they're talking about. There was this news story come out. Hold on. 5 rallies. There we go. So somebody will have written it up. Yeah. This is a Daily Caller article, which is, it's Tucker Carlson's mag. So what you will. Trump plans to do 5 rallies a day leading up to the election. Yeah, that's what you do when you're winning. Right. President Donald Trump said on Monday campaign staff call that he plans on doing 5 rallies a day leading up to the election. We are going to win. I wouldn't have told you that maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Why not? What, really? 2 or 3 weeks ago, Trump thought he was losing? That's news. Like, on a campaign staff call just right now, President Trump says he plans to do 5 rallies a day leading up to the election. We're going to win. I wouldn't have told you that maybe 2 weeks ago, admitting it wasn't easy to go from the hospital. Oh, I guess he's talking about being in the hospital. We're going to win. We're going to work our asses off. The only way we can lose? No. This election is if they cheat. Right. Yeah, that's what you say when you're 5 to 10 points behind everywhere. The president also told his campaign team to ignore negative news because that's how you deal with a pandemic. So why not use that strategy for everything? Trump was forced to take time off from in-person appearances on the campaign trail at the beginning of October when he was diagnosed with coronavirus. Citation needed. I'm going with mini stroke. All right. A debate originally planned for October 15th was canceled after the Commission on Presidential Debates. Although the story is now, hold on, whoops, no, not that, this one. The story is now, and this is messed up, Melania has, quote, a lingering cough. And she's skipping the rallies. She was going to go campaign with him, which, obviously she's lightning in a bottle when they get her out on the trail. Because nothing really appeals to blue-collar voters like your third wife that you just rearranged your prenup with. President Donald Trump heading into the final stretch. Melania Trump to skip Pennsylvania rally due to cough. Melania Trump will no longer travel to Erie, Pennsylvania. She was dying to go to Erie. On Tuesday with the president due to a lingering cough from her bout with coronavirus, the First Lady spokeswoman spokeswoman Stephanie Grisham said, Mrs. Trump continues to feel better every day following her recovery from COVID-19, but with a lingering cough and out of an abundance of caution that she will have a coughing fit, she will not be traveling today. The First Lady was expected to join her husband on a Tuesday night rally, her first in over a year. Was she really? Was she? All right. In-person voting in Wisconsin. There you go. The foreign policy thing. Yeah, she's planning her war on Christmas. There's so many decorations to not hang. So yeah, let me try this real quick. See if Backbase has the rally's not for a while, but the I guess the piece of it today was Trump calling into Fox and Friends. I guess they don't have them up. Hold on, because that was friggin' magic. Thank you, patrons and everybody, for helping us hang out. Exclusive interview. Let's see. Let's get. I want to do this today. This is a piece of it.
Let's bring in now the
Oh, good.
Trump, Mr.
Hold on. Let's bring him in now. The president of the. Okay, so here's three people. He's just about to bring in the president of the United States. She's got a lock face. She knows what she's doing. Dude on the Ducey replacement over there, whatever his name is, used to be a sports guy, I think, something like that. Light blue suit, definitely not on the team. Blue tie, probably a Democrat. Just got him coffee for a while. He doesn't look too excited. And, you know, I mean, that's what he always looks like.
President, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you.
Mr. President, they said on
Well, thank you. Jesus. Just loogie right out of the gate, why don't you?
President Donald Trump. Mr. President, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you.
Mr. President, they
Oh, oh no. Oh.
said on a conference call yesterday,
They're all going, did he just keel over? What was that?
you said over the last 3 weeks you have a different feel for the campaign. You really feel like you're going to win now.
Totally, yeah. You really feel it, don't you?
What changed?
Well, a lot of things. It's just going very well. I think he's imploding. You look at all the corruption in his family. It's tremendous corruption. Nobody's ever seen. I mean, that laptop, nobody has ever seen anything like that. He's gone.
Yeah, no. Lots of people have seen it in Russia and Rudy Giuliani's house where he had it for a year. Because that's what you do when you find a total corruption and child porn on a laptop. You hang out with it for a year. And you make copies. And you give them to your friends. Seriously, that's what they did. That's what they did. Yeah. So Rudy Giuliani said he sleeps with a copy of the hard drive. Because that's what you do with a hard drive that has pornography on it. Especially if it involves underage people and deep fakes of Don Jr. Anyways.
To hiding. He's done the lid again. He's in there for a long time, and things are changing fast. And
there's a debate this week.
The numbers at the polls are looking really good, really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. President, you bring up Hunter Biden's laptop. Many on the
What a weird thing. Why would you bring that
left
up?
and many in the mainstream media are suggesting this is nothing but a Russian disinformation campaign. What do you say to that?
And?
It's just crazy. I saw Shifty Schiff yesterday get up, say this is Russia. Yeah, I mean, he's a sick man. He is so sick. It is. We went through 2.5 years.
This is the defense. He's a sick puppy. That he's the mother of two and the father of three. It's a strange.
That plus.
Oh, we're doing the live debate Thursday. Yeah.
And this
If it happens.
guy, he ought to be put away, or he ought to be. Something should happen with him. I watched him.
All right, so he should be arrested just because you don't like him, or somebody should just kill him or run him over with a car. Is that where we're going with this?
Look straight at the camera and say it, and he laughs at it. They laugh in the back rooms at it, and thank goodness we have John Ratcliffe. That
A lid means no press events and no public events for the day. It's usually something a campaign does when they're prepping for a speech or they're prepping for a if they have debate prep or a speech prep, and they have to do it in conjunction with potential cabinet meetings, the potential for vetting people, because once you win, you have basically 2 months to gear up and go in. And if you really do think you're going to win, even if you don't, you should do this. But because he didn't, and they got caught flat-footed because they didn't prep for any of this stuff, and they were behind the 8 ball. What you do is you start meeting with potential cabinet people. You do whole days of phone calls with former defense officials, people that worked under you before who were the assistant secretary who might become the secretary now. They're younger and they kind of move up, that kind of stuff.
At the head of DNI, he said it's absolutely false. There's nothing to do with Russia, and it never did have to do. This was like with Tulsi Gabbard and Jill Stein when Hillary Clinton said about them. This is after the.
Oh, you mean? Wait, Jill Stein. Hold on. I know there's a I forget what she looks like. Hold on one second. I gotta find a picture. I just can't picture what she looks like. Oh, maybe. I mean, maybe this one. I don't know. Is that a good picture of her right there? It's just kind of the side of her face. No, this is. Oh, wait, maybe this one's better. Is that Jill Stein? I can't remember. Yeah, that's her. That's Jill Stein. I don't know those two guys. Jill Stein. I'm blitzing on. I don't know. I don't remember what she did. Was her second album any good? Yeah. Anyways, who can say really? Honestly, like, all right. Yeah. So, anyways, that's what she looks like. In case anybody forgot, I just couldn't. I don't know.
Hoax on me that they were agents of Russia.
That's ridiculous. I mean, come on. Jill Stein, does she look like she knows any Russians? I mean, don't embarrass yourself. Seriously, Dems. Look at this. She's a woman. She's eating some sort of potato thing with cheese on it. She hasn't touched her bread. She's not even interested in the giant prawns. Russian agent. Get out of here. She would know any Russians. That's ridiculous. And I mean, let's see, hold on. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that, I don't know where, let's see. Obviously, what does the Hawaiian Free Press know? But I mean, it is her state, so I don't know. Well, let's see. What is Tulsi Gabbard? Okay, there's Tulsi Gabbard. I don't remember. We'll look her up in a second. Tulsi Gabbard hires Russian agent to keep Hawaii media in check. Gabbard's consultant, Chris Cooper of the Potomac Square Group, is no ordinary Russian agent. Cooper is allegedly one of 7 identified as being at the center of an illegal Russian lobbying efforts in reaching into the Trump campaign in Congress. What? This is, inquiries with Gabbard's D.C. office last June by reporter Chris Grallo, then stringing an article for Honolulu Magazine, must have piqued the attention of the numerous Hare Krishna cultists employed there. Within 24 hours of a letter from Cooper identifying himself as a consultant to Representative Tulsi Gabbard, riddled with misspellings and inaccuracies, landed in the inbox of Honolulu's magazine editors. It worked. Honolulu Magazine suddenly lost interest in Grallo's articles, which she eventually published on her own website. All right. That's weird. And the Russian lawyer Natalia Vetselnitskaya is also among the 7 agents cited by Hermitage. Okay, all right. I don't know. I don't know that. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard doesn't know any Russians any more than Jill Stein does. Just all. But I'm glad the president bothered to name check it, so I could check and make that clear.
And you know what? I don't know either of them. They were not agents of.
You don't know either of them, but they weren't agents of Russia. The one thing you do know about them. The one thing, I never met Ted Bundy, but I do know one thing. He was a Republican.
Russia. They never spoke to anybody from Russia.
They never spoke to anybody from Russia. No Russians have immigrated to the United States. They have never met Mikhail Baryshnikov, and they walked out of like the ballet anytime anybody even mentioned him, because they don't want to bump into him, in the codpiece room. I know, a friend gave her a Yakov Smirnoff shirt as a gift, and she burned it.
It's the same thing. Adam Schiff ought to be investigated for what he does. He stood up, he looked at the camera, and he said, the laptop conceived and dedicated by Russia.
Yeah. Is that, I mean, you don't have to investigate it, right? That's what you said he did. He stood up. I mean, citation needed. I don't know that he stood up to speak to the camera. He might have already been standing when the camera arrived. Did he walk out? I think he walked out of a door and there was a person with a camera there. But I will submit, Your Honor, that he was standing at the time of the interview, but we will review it later to see that he was not kneeling on a platform at any point. All right, so investigation still necessary. And he said it's planted by Russia. Okay.
This is crazy.
Oh, it's crazy. This guy. This is the president of the United States calling into a highly rated television show.
Dedicated by Russia. This is crazy.
Well,
I mean, come on. He's loaded. Okay. Maybe I overstepped. Maybe he's not drunk. Maybe he just stands up really fast over and over and over again. Maybe he just stood up too fast dozens of times. Maybe he's in the middle of this interview, they caught him standing up too fast.
well, this is a part of the interview that probably will not be played on other networks because they're not really covering this. But
Excuse me, I know I'm not a network, but I went straight to the source. I covered all of Rudy's evidence yesterday. He didn't show us any of it, just laid there on the desk, and we can't read any of it because the camera didn't pick up the detail, and he's not posting it, but I'm sure it'll come out later.
what if the names were changed? What if it were your name instead of Joe Biden's involved in this, or one of your son's names instead of Hunter Biden? Would this?
Yeah, let's do that, shall we? Let's do your name and Ivanka Trump and Chinese trademarks. Do that. Run that game on me.
Be the top story on every single network?
No?
Well, you know it would be, and they went through and put my son in particular over a 15-minute meeting with somebody from Russia who met with everybody in Congress over the years. Everybody knew that it was a meeting.
Natalia Veselnitskaya not met with this person you're speaking of. It's not.
That's something totally different.
No, it's totally just about the Magnitsky Act, which of course keeps Russian oligarchs from funneling money out of Russia. Which, I mean, honestly, if they have one job, that's it.
And Don Jr. went, and it's so unfair. What they have done is what they've done to this country, and we're really hitting them back. I mean, we're hitting them back so hard. And I'll tell you, I watched your interview with Dave Rubin. That's true. That's happening all.
Your interview with Dave Rubin. Oh, so an insider.
It was so nice. That's happening all over the country.
Jesus Christ. You know who knows less about the contents of Rudy Giuliani's evidence than me? Dave Rubin. And I only know what Rudy has shown me.
And people are in love. And what you said about Texas, don't worry about Texas. Texas is.
People are in love. Lovey-dovey-dovey-dovey.
All over is so nice. That's happening all over the country. I mean, people are in love. And what you said about Texas, don't worry about Texas. Texas is with us. They want to take away your guns, your oil, and your God. Okay, that's what they want. They want to take away your Second Amendment. They want to take away fracking and oil. They don't care. They want to take it away. They want to go to the Green New Deal. That's not for Texas. Texas is not going to be losing their guns, and they're not going to be losing their oil, and they're not going to be losing their religion or their God.
Which one? I don't know. Good God.
Mr. President, so
Mr. President, so real quick, what the shit are you talking about?
your next chance to bring this up directly with Joe Biden will be at the debate on Thursday night. And
What debate?
among the categories is national security. That would be your option to bring this up. Now, people in the past, presidents in the past have had siblings or relatives that are problematic. Roger Clinton had his issues. I remember Billy Carter with Jimmy Carter's his issues. But I think this issue would.
Yeah, the weird thing with George W. Bush was that he was the brother that Jeb would have worried about if he was in office.
Makes it relevant is what Joe Biden had to do with this. What question do you have for Joe Biden in the debate? So people
How did you get so corrupt and so long? And you know what? And we did a good thing. And this has been, we've done everything and we don't get any credit in the thing. And what was my question again?
I think it's a family issue. It's more about the vice presidential issue, some would say. How do you plan on parrying that issue?
Rick parrying it. He's gonna parry it like by going, I got 3 things to bring up. 1, you're corrupt. 2, your son. 3, corrupt. Did I say the son is corrupt? You're corrupt. I'm sorry. Oops.
Well, this is far bigger than Jimmy Carter. I mean, this is a
This is so much bigger than Jimmy Carter. Oh, God. It is. I agree. I think, hi. Yeah. No, I'm streaming for a little half hour more, and then I got to deliver that other piece. So, yeah. Love you. Are you painting? How's it going? All right. Love you. I might need your help with something in a minute after I'm. Yeah, that'd be lovely. Yeah, perfect. This is our entire production team. It's me and Summer.
an issue that's, I mean, his son.
And first of all, can we go back to this real quick? Bigger than Jimmy Carter. Oh, nice, Izzel. That's great.
Well, this is far bigger than Jimmy Carter. I mean, this is an issue that's, I mean, his son walked around like a vacuum cleaner, but they say right in, look, this is the laptop from hell.
Oh, do they? They say this? You mean, and by they, I mean you. You know, I mean me, you know, you know how we is sort of the royal we means me? Well, the royal they is me with Trump. Trump uses a royal they. That's what it is. You know, it's taken me 3.5 years to articulate it, but that's basically what he does. And this is bigger than Jimmy Carter.
Well, this is far bigger than Jimmy Carter. I mean, this is.
Yeah, the Carter scandals. I mean, they don't even chart. The Biden scandal is like the Jimmy Carter scandals times 10. What's 0 times 10 again? Damn it.
An issue that's, I mean, his son walked around like a vacuum cleaner, but.
I love the whole vacuum cleaner analogy. He loves this, sucking up money. He's got like this, like, Warner Brothers cartoon stuck in his head.
They say right in, look, this is the laptop from hell.
No, they don't. You say that. This is the laptop from hell. Although it's one of my, I don't know what the original title is, but that's one of my favorite Korean horror films.
They say right in the laptop that, you know, the big man has to get 10%, and then in another case they say 50%. This is 100%. This is, and
no, okay, hold on. More Trump math.
They say right in the laptop that, you know, the big man has to get 10%, and then in another case they say 50%. This is 100%. This is, and even if
I think I've solved the budget crisis. I think I figured it out. I now know why the budget has doubled during Trump's time in office. The deficit has doubled under Trump, and why, you know, before the pandemic, and why it's 6 times what it was under Obama right now, is because he thinks 5 + 1 = 10. So, not let him balance your checkbook.
didn't get, and he does get, and he lives like a king, even if he didn't get.
Yeah, I live like a king. Here, king. Here, king. Lives like a king.
All of this money, and everybody's known this in Washington for a long time.
Yeah, they know this. They just let it go on. You know, the last 2 presidents have just sat by while Joe Biden was committing crime after crime. Why didn't the 45th president of the United States do anything about this? You know, he's going to be the 46th president, and we haven't. Oh, shit.
This isn't
Thanks.
surprising. Nobody's surprised by this. But
Well, no one is surprised by an empty box. Some people are disappointed, others are relieved. No one is surprised.
even if he didn't, you can't go to China and the son walk out with $1.5 billion to manage. You can't go to Ukraine and have
To manage.
him get $183,000 a month with a $3 million upfront payment. You can't.
Why not? Why not? Argue, go down to, well, let's, I mean, it's one of those times, like, if we weren't in a pandemic and if we weren't, you know, if I didn't live on the West Coast, I would go to New York, go down to Wall Street and go, what's the number you would take to manage, you know, you and three partners manage an investment fund, and its holdings are somewhere in the order of $3 billion at any given time. It's not your money, it's their money, but you manage it. What would be your salary and fee for watching over that? Never mind the insurance you have to take out in case you get defrauded and you got to protect yourself. Never mind any of the, you know, the lawyers you'd have to retain to put a deal together. Your own personal salary. Would $40,000 do? You're managing $3 billion worth of rich people's money, and they're going to pay you this money, not the taxpayer, not poor people. You're not selling magic water on a, you know, on the Christian Broadcasting Network. Rich people are paying you a fee to manage their money so they can make more money. What kind of deal are you going to cut them? And then I have another question. After you do that, are you going to go work for the World Health Fund to stop childhood hunger? I mean, there's a chance it'll win the Nobel Prize because of the work that you've done. So is that an incentive for you?
$3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's
Wife? Who is that good a lay, honestly?
$3.5 million, and you have no experience. You didn't have a job until your father became vice president.
You didn't have a job until your father gave you one. You never had a job other than the job you got from your father, except game show host. I was a game show host. I was 17 years old. I outgrew it.
It's disgraceful.
What if he says, I don't know anything about this?
And the media can't cover it. The media refuses to cover it.
Mr. President, what if he just says, I don't know anything about that? That's my son's thing. I don't know anything about it. I hear Romania is coming up, too. So what if he says that's his thing? You know, he's a grown adult.
No, Romania is coming up. But they say right in there that the father's going to get 10%. Brian, you don't have to know anything about it.
Yeah, you do. 10% of what? And where did the emails come? Why will? Here's the question. I thought you were going to release the entire Mueller investigation evidence and everything. And Mark Meadows came into court on Tuesday and said that you didn't mean it. I mean, I know you're trying to attack my child with bogus intel that your friend picked up from Russian criminals, but in all honesty, you tweeted, release all the information about the email server, release all the information about the Mueller report, everything, nothing, no redactions, nothing. And your chief of staff walked into court 2 days ago and said you were lying. You didn't mean it. How come? What do you? Yeah, it's kind of fun talking directly to them. We Zoltan right over his face, which I think he deserves. I mean, that's the question. That's really the question. And if he brings up Romania, I would simply say, I don't know anything about Romanian business deals. I do know that I could find it on a map. Can you? Like.
And to be honest with you, even if it wasn't, you can't.
Even if we just brought it up and it wasn't true, You gotta just
Go with your father, and every stop you make, you pick up $1 billion. You can't do that.
you can't. Well, he didn't do that.
You can't do it. But he got a kickback. You know, in the old days, they used to call it a kickback. But there's
They still call it a kickback. They do. Yeah. Sometimes, if you're talking about a larger group of people, they'll call it skimming. But most of the time, directly, it's a kickback. I mean, kickbacks. That is there a new term for kickbacks? What's the millennial phrase for a kickback that Trump is talking about?
better word. The vice president got a.
There is no better word.
In the old days, they used to call it a kickback, but there's no better word. The vice president got a kickback, and everybody knows it, and they've known it for a long time.
If they've known it for a long time, why didn't they do anything about it? How did he become vice president? And even worse, who this shit is doing the Fox graphics on this window where there's this weird little gap at the bottom over the other overlap here. And it's tied up against the sides, but it doesn't fit in this part, and there's background coming through. They really just slapdashed this shit together. Was somebody else supposed to be here and they just threw his picture up over top of it? I'm just saying, like, I do all my graphics. I understand they're a travesty. It's a mess. But I do them myself. And I've only got limited real estate, and I can't throw to 10 shots and angles and go to these individual people and keep my computer from blowing up. So I have limited resources. They have millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. Sorry.
Mr. President, Brian brings up the debates and how you'll address this in
Sorry, T-Brock.
debates. We want to talk about some of the changes to the debate format in just a moment, but one more on this Hunter Biden issue.
Yeah, we really haven't really hammered this.
We've addressed it, the mainstream media, and many on the left are calling.
You are the mainstream media. Fox is one of the big four. You are the mainstream media. Fox is mainstream media.
It's a Russian disinformation campaign. You addressed that. Many of the facts now, though, are being confirmed and authorized, and some are asking, will
Authorized facts? What's an authorized fact? Sounds super Russian. Sounds very North Korean. These are the facts we have authorized. All those other things that happen to be true, they are unauthorized facts. You've heard of alternative facts. We have authorized and unauthorized facts. At Fox News, we have a memo you get every morning that says, yes, I know, it's a fact. This is not an authorized fact. We only speak of the authorized facts.
you appoint a special prosecutor to investigate this? In fact,
Yeah, totally. Do that, please.
11 House Republicans have sent
11? Gosh, that's crazy. There's only like 40 Republicans in the House. No. There's how many people are in the House? 35 people in the whole House? That means a third of the, 500.
They said the following: we request that the Department of
We request
Justice immediately appoint an independent, unbiased special counsel to investigate these
Yeah, but they don't know any.
issues that have been raised, as well as any corresponding legal
You mean like John Durham? The guy who's like, yeah, I got nothing for you. I've been looking at this shit over and over. You keep telling me to look at the same thing. I'm not seeing it.
or ethical issues that might be uncovered from the former vice president's 47 years in public office. Will you be doing that? Will you be appointing a special prosecutor?
We've got to get the Attorney General to act. He's got to act.
Yeah. I mean, I really think he's missing his calling. Bill Barr would be a fantastic actor. I mean, he'd be great as John Goodman's stunt double. Put a blonde wig on him, push him down a flight of stairs. That'd be magic. He'd be terrific as the dad on that old dinosaur cartoon show. What was that show? Dinosaurs, whatever. I think try to see if I can find a. Yeah, there we go. He'd be fantastic as the kid on. I mean, that's if you want to get Bill Barr into acting. It's the role he was born to play. I swear. No, it wasn't like. It's dinosaurs. Yeah. So he's got to act. I agree.
And he's got to act fast. He's got.
Oh well, pacing is a big part of acting. You know, if the scene, you know, calls for it, yeah, you want to speed the language up, but sometimes you want to pace yourself.
What points?
I need you to understand. We can't always speak fast when we're acting.
Somebody. This is major corruption.
Major corruption.
And he's got to act fast. He's got to appoint somebody. This is
Yeah, just appoint somebody.
major corruption, and this has to be known about before the election. And by the
He's been here for 47 years.
way, we're doing very well. We're going to win the election. We're
totally.
doing very well.
Well, then what's the rush?
If you look at all of what's happening,
So why don't you just say that after the election, when we win, we're going to prosecute him because this is a crime?
and all of the people that come in and don't come in, you take a look all around the country. And with Texas early voting,
All the people who come in and don't come in?
don't come in.
Wait, what?
If you look at all of what's happening and all of the people that come in and don't come in, you take a look all around the country. And with Texas early voting, those are our votes too. And we're doing well in Texas. I mean, I just got a report we're doing great in Texas, but we're doing.
You should be. The fact that you even need reports on Texas is embarrassing. They cut away from them and they're showing the floor and a giant screen with a picture of you on it. This is breaking news. Look, it's bad enough when somebody calls in. Usually, you notice most people call into a show if they can't be reached because something just happened. You know what I mean? Like when Brian Williams calls in MSNBC, you know, and he's on the phone with Maddow or Velchi or somebody like that because a helicopter crash happened and they're screwed and they have to pick up, you know, like they're covering breaking news. People have to call in. There is no reason, none, in 2020 why this asshole can't have a camera set up in a room in the White House to do live drops on camera, since he's basically an uncredited cast member.
It all over. But forget that. This has to be done early. So the Attorney General has to act.
Jesus.
Let's bring in.
God. He's got to act now. We haven't seen him. Honest to God, I mean, I joke about it, but have we seen this asshole anywhere? Has anybody seen? Oh, here's Trump. Now, I can't, like.
So isn't that like an amazing?
Oh, God. Oh, God. It's worse than we thought. I mean, we may not even need to. How long did this go on? Did they not have a hook? What the hell? Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Trump.
Plane. Think about this concept. You never had a plane ever take off in one country and land in the other. And these countries aren't that far apart, right?
Okay, just in case you think he's completely, he's been hit with a baseball bat. He's talking about Israel and Bahrain or UAE, which, by the way, lots of planes constantly take off and land from both those places all the time. All the time. They're just not commercial flights. They're private.
You never had a plane because,
Never.
Religions and languages and wars for years. And
Yeah, there aren't any Arabic to Hebrew. I mean, nobody speaks those languages. These people just show up in their weird clothes, and everybody's like, what's he doing here?
disputed borders. And you know what? They always said, if you move the embassy to Jerusalem, which my father moved to Jerusalem, right?
Right. Yeah, right. How about that?
If you ever move the embassy, you're going to stir up a hornet's nest. That was John Kerry. You remember that famous quote, right? You're going to
Uh-huh. And do we bother to go look at all the...
stir up a hornet's nest. And so my father immediately didn't listen to him because John Kerry's been wrong about just about everything. It's kind of like
Yeah, like the Vietnam War.
Biden, right? And it's kind of like Obama. They were wrong on...
Like he was like, yeah, I mean, obviously your dad thinks that John Kerry was wrong about going to Vietnam and fighting in Vietnam and then coming back and speaking against Vietnam. I mean, the whole process. If he'd have just claimed he had bone spurs, he never would have had to testify before Congress about, who wants, to be the last man to die for a lie.
About everything. He moved the embassy, and guess what?
What?
6 months later, everybody's coming forward. They want peace deals. They want peace in the Middle East. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Yeah, totally. They're all coming forward. Bahrain, UAE, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain.
And then my father wanted energy independence. Isn't that an amazing thing, right?
And then you realized, wow, it's already here. It's like it's like somebody delivers an Amazon package to your door that the last owner wanted for something that's broken in the house. And you're like, sweet, look what I had the foresight to do.
We have the lowest fuel costs, and what you want to talk about something that helps agriculture and farmers. We have the lowest fuel costs in the world right now. I mean, gas is under $2.
Yeah, we subsidize it, and it's not under $2. Everybody there paid more for that. Yeah, we're clapping, but I actually paid about $3 a gallon in Pennsylvania to get here. Yeah.
And I don't know why people forget. Do you remember under Obama and Biden, gas was, $5.50, $6? Do you remember this?
Remember the recovery after the Great Recession caused by the administration beforehand that they actually salvaged the country from? Yeah, I remember that. I remember it.
If you had a pickup truck, my truck, it'd be like 130.
Yeah, I drive, I don't know if you guys know, but you don't get a sweet lady like Lara Trump unless you drive a pickup, am I right? Because there's nothing more honky-tonk than Park Avenue.
Bucks to fill up the tank.
Most people don't know that we are the Beverly Hillbillies Mark II.
Now you go, it's like $52 or something to fill up 25 gallons. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, right? But yet the Democrats, they come out, we want to get rid of fossil fuels. It's the greatest advantage we have as a nation. China would give half of its population for the amount of natural gas and resources that we have in this country. Why?
What? So China would, okay, dummy. Let's think about, this is ridiculous. That's so screwed up. But basically, well, then why aren't they attacking us to seize our resources? Because they have 500 million people they're willing to part with to seize our natural gas. I mean, at some point, do we have any recourse at all if they all just came over in boats and murdered us all? I mean, they would literally, according to Eric Trump, whose father is currently the president of the United States and gets top secret briefings every day, believes that the Chinese people would sacrifice the lives of 500 million Chinese nationals to get our natural gas resources. Good.
We give that away. And you have Biden, right? So Biden 3 weeks ago was, we're going to ban fracking, we're going to ban fuel, we're going to ban coal.
No. Oh, by the way, apparently in that wonderful truck of his, he doesn't fill it up with premium. I mean, he uses regular because he's a regular guy. Because his dad gets up every morning and is regular all over him. But in Pennsylvania, premiums $3 a gallon. Just terrible.
We're going to ban steel. We're going to ban everything. Right then, all of a sudden, he shows.
Yeah, they're just banning it. Yeah, he's going to ban steel. Eric Trump, Joe Biden is going to ban steel. Because to stop all the steel overdoses.
Up in Pittsburgh, this was like the greatest thing. And
yeah, it's totally great. When he came up here, he came up to Pittsburgh, and he's like walking around. This guy didn't even know. He's like, I'm going to ban fracking. I'm going to ban steel. I'm going to ban Primanti Brothers sandwiches. Am I right? I'm going to ban Rocky movies. I'm going to ban the Liberty Bell. Did you hear that? It's made of steel. It's not. It's a bronze ore mix from, because before. Anyways, point is.
This reporter comes up to him and, Mr. Biden, sir.
Mr. Biden, sir. Eric Trump, who wasn't bleeding from the ears when he said this.
We hear you want to ban natural gas and oil and gas and fracking. That's not very popular in Pennsylvania. No, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. The other guy wants to do it. The other guy wants to do it. It's like.
That's such a great story. Totally turn around like, no, man. That's the other guy wants to do that. The other guy wants to do that. You just described your father. Oh, God. My dad said, that's what my dad does. He's trying to steal from my dad's thing. Oh, wow, the tip jar is full. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the... Christine FF, by the way, thank you for all those gift subs today. It was really lovely. Jillian and Craig and Jaded, thanks for the bits today, the cheers. Appreciate that. And everybody over on Facebook. Is Facebook on? No, Facebook's not on. That's why, because I'll be on longer if that happens. Okay, so I'm only going to do till 4:15. Okay.
You can't make this up. He did the same.
You just did. This is how... Okay. This is Eric Trump in a nutshell.
Natural gas and oil and gas and fracking. That's not very popular in Pennsylvania. No, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. The other guy wants to do it. The other guy wants to do it. It's like... You can't make this up. He did the same...
While literally making it up.
Thing with law enforcement, right? The exact same thing where...
Totally. What do you say about law enforcement? I hate cops. I want to defund them and get them out. I hate cops.
Kamala Harris comes out and calls,
Kamala.
The KKK and everything else, right? And he says that he wants to reallocate funding to social workers. So I want to ask the question. So when somebody's driving down the highway doing like 130 at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're hammered. Does the
Oh, is your brother there? Is he late? Are you filling in? My brother couldn't be right now, but he's going to be here any second now. He's hammered and he's doing 100 miles an hour on the freeway.
social worker pull over the drunk driver? Is that what happens? Like,
dude, can you imagine? I think it would go a little something like this. Excuse me, sir, can I see your license, registration, and can you tell me what upset you most about the way your mother treated you in childhood? Come on. Comedy jokes. Eric Trump's Wacky Home Show.
when there's a shooting somewhere, does the social worker run in there and try and use their, breathing exercise? Exactly, they're breathing.
Yeah, somebody bail them out. The breathing exercise. I was going to say social worker superpowers, but that's stupid, so thank you.
That was good timing, man. That was really, really good.
Yeah, give him the mic. Get off stage.
Yeah, to use their breathing exercises.
To use it, I'm going to use that from now on and pretend I thought of it. By the way, the next time we see Eric Trump speaking, he's going to use that line and give no credit to the other person.
That's why you have law enforcement. I mean, so anyway.
That's why you have law enforcement. You know, guys with guns and speeding traffic. Yeah, that's exactly why we have law enforcement.
Shows up in Pittsburgh, all right? And
yeah,
Mr. Biden, Pennsylvania really loves law enforcement, and this isn't very popular. No, man, I don't want to ban law enforcement. I don't want to defund the police. The other guy wants to do that, the other guy. And so...
No, he did do that. I mean, I guess this is where he got the argument for the other thing. He just got ahead of himself in his prepared remarks.
I'm in an interview. I'm in Pittsburgh like the following day, right? And
oh, boy, this is good. Did you tell him that you get most of your money from Russia?
I'm doing an interview. I'm like, yeah, the guy wants...
You didn't bring it up? You didn't bring it up like you did in the other interview where you get most of your money from Russia and that you have a lot of opportunities in China? Did you bring that up? Did you tell him? It was an interview. I mean, you've said that in interviews before, so why not?
Ban law enforcement. He wants to ban fracking. No.
Yes, I'm going to ban law enforcement and ban fracking. Seriously. I'm going to ban law enforcement. Not cops, not judges, not prosecutors, not DAs, not attorneys general. No. Banning, they can be there. They just, if they see a law being broken, they just have to not do anything.
Said he didn't want to do that. I just asked him yesterday. I'm like, we have something called YouTube. We're not...
Yes, unfortunately. That's where we're watching you now.
Not living when this farm was first created in 1833. This is...
Someone gave him that detail. He's been dying to use it.
We have YouTube. We have Google.
We have YouTube. Hey, Scoob.
Google. Like the guy said it last week that he wants to defund police and he wants to ban oil and gas and fracking.
He wants to ban oil and cops. He wants to ban oily cops. And he wants to ban law and order. You can't keep your law in order.
Right? No different than the gun stuff, right? He comes out.
Yeah, no different. He wants to ban all guns in every form. That's why he said he wants you to buy a shotgun. It was a ruse.
Beto O'Rourke will be my gun czar. He's going to take away your AR-14s. I'm like, I don't know, man. You can have all of my AR-14s, but don't take my AR-15s and don't take my AR-10s, all right? Like,
Dude doesn't even. Do you even shoot, bro?
thank God our AR-14s are totally safe, all right? They're totally safe. It's unbelievable. Guys, it's unbelievable. I mean, these...
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, can you imagine if your dad made those kind of
Illegal
mistakes?
yeah, look. Free health care for illegal yeah, look.
I mean, honestly,
Miramicia,
nobody gets that wrong. I mean,
to me, Corona means Italy.
yeah, so
The
there's
company
a.
that his son worked for. That's Miramicia.
When they gaze upon Yosemite,
Yeah.
people, they're liars. So, you know, so my father wants to save...
So he's lying about wanting to take your AR-15s? Or AR-14s, rather? Maybe he wants to give you an AR-14 then.
oil and gas, and he wants to save the farmers. And you know how you save the farmers? You tariff the hell out of China, because they've been ripping us off for years.
Yeah, that's how it. And then you pay all their bills with taxpayer funds. The tariffs weren't initially about farm goods.
There's never been a person who's gone after China. I mean, there's no president
Never. No one's ever gone after China. Well, Hirohito.
has ever had the backbone to go after them, right? And guys, it's not just what they were doing to manufacturing. They stole all our manufacturing out of this country because Obama and Biden and frankly Bush and Clinton, a lot of people allowed it to happen, right? It was all of them.
Don't get me started on the CEOs of the actual companies and the customers who want things to be that cheap.
Allowed it to happen.
Weird.
They stole all our manufacturing. They stole all of our jobs.
Well, yeah.
They stole most of our industry. They stole just about all of our intellectual property because they were stealing that every...
Well, I have to. Okay. Look, I understand you have a lot of physical things because you grew up rich as a third-generation rich kid, but I'm going to need some sort of evidence that you have ever in your life had anything that qualifies as intellectual property. I mean,
single day.
Anything? Nothing? All right.
They sent fentanyl. Does anybody remember this? They sent fentanyl all over the United States, which...
Really? I thought that came across the southern border. Oh, no, it turns out it was mailed from China and still is.
Destroyed our youth. And they were happy...
No, you're carousing and kind of hanging out with weirdos and your brothers drinking kind of destroyed your youth. I mean, I guess the youth. Yeah, that's the problem with, fentanyl. It's the kids today. It's not the parents dying in the car.
They're still sending it to Mexico. Now they gave us coronavirus. It was really nice of them, right?
So they're trying to murder us. They tried a chemical weapon. That didn't work. So now they're trying a bioweapon. And they would gladly sacrifice half their population testing, I guess, a disease on them so that they could get our gas.
Entire world coronavirus. They stole all our ag, right? So they weren't buying anything. And then anything that, anything we sent...
They were buying a lot of things until your dad put the tariffs on.
Them, they didn't pay tariff on, but anything that we... I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean,
No. Explain it. You were breaking it down there for a second, and you were getting really close to actually having to say a detail. It was this close. You dodged that bullet, Eric.
Unbelievable. Anything
Unbelievable. This is... as open mics go, it's a bit rough. I would tune up the jokes and come back with a guitar.
Sent over
or at least a puppet.
We had to pay a massive tariff on, but we could import all their stuff for free. China has ripped off this country for years.
Who's we? Oh, your sister, right?
I promise you, they had their worst year last year. You know that, right? After my father put on 25% tariffs.
Yeah, it had to do with their real estate industry, but keep talking. And a 700 million sows dying, which was the majority of the foodstuffs that they had, meat product they had in the country.
Put on 25% tariffs because a lot of it was they weren't buying any agriculture from the farmers here in the U.S. It's one of the main reasons he did it.
Uh-huh.
Guess what? They had their worst year in 67 years. You know that, right? Worst year.
Yeah, was it because of agricultural trade policy, or was it this? Because This might be the reason why they were having a rough year last year. African swine fever spreading through China because of it. The disease that ravaged them. Pork-producing countries stand to lose billions if the disease infects their industries. Yeah. There's a global response. Everyone's isolating them. Yeah. 700 million pigs. That might be a reason why their agricultural purchases went up.
And that's why Nancy Pelosi comes out the other day and she goes, China wants Biden. And I go, oh my God, that's like that is the greatest. Thank you, Nancy Pelosi. We appreciate that.
But Russia wants is dead and China isn't doing anything. They just favor Joe Biden. The culture based on respect in a lot of ways. But the Russians are actively taking measures. And you knew that off the top of your head, HalSparks? Yes, I did. Because 我会说中文，我有很多的中国的朋友 speak Chinese, and I have a lot of Chinese friends.
Literally said that, guys.
This is going so well.
She literally said that. She goes, China wants Biden. I go, I know they do. You know why? They own his son.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. Eric Trump, China interview. Let's see. Let's see. News. Maybe it was in there. It'll be under videos, I'm guessing. There we go. Yeah, this will work. Grab this little guy right here.
With Donald Trump running for president, the responsibility at their Manhattan headquarters about working for the Trump brand in real estate and on the campaign trail.
That one, that's good. That's Wall Street Journal. They're not going to have it. Trump, let's see. Opportunities. There it is. This is, yeah, Scott Dworkin has this video up. I'll just play this part. This will work.
Been to China many times.
Really?
I have, so.
What was the impression?
I love China.
Really?
I love China. I spent quite a bit of time over there last year. Really loved it. Looking at different projects, it's a market that I think we'll be in very soon.
Do you have any plans for China?
We have a lot of plans for China. So we've got an amazing buyer base that's from China originally, that has apartments in our buildings, that use our hotels, that are members of our golf clubs. There's a very, very loyal following base.
Oh wait, you mean the golf clubs that your dad speaks out loud, like speaks national secrets out loud at?
To the Trump name, and so it's just a very logical place for us to be soon. I've been to China many times.
Really?
I have, so.
What was the impression?
Got to be 2014, 2012, something like that. Just for the record,
They've spent the last...
I can read some Chinese. I'm like a sixth grader, or a 6-year-old rather. I wish I was a sixth grader as far as reading Chinese.
Decade buying his...
Let's see. Need something 中国, that's, see right there, that's the Chinese word for China, right there. 中国of the opportunities, I think. You know, like her business there. I can break out some of the ma, right? Because that's what makes it a question. But if you'll know anything about China, we call China because of the Qin dynasty, which brought together all the kingdoms. China does not call itself China, except in English. China's Chinese name is Zhongguo, which means center land or Middle Earth in some ways. You know what I mean? It literally means middle land, means the emanation of all lands. So China believes itself, in its definition of itself, to be the center of the world. Everything orients. That's why they used to call them Orientals, and why it, Asian people considered it a slam, because the Japanese and the Taiwanese and the even technically, I guess, non-mainland Chinese, Cantonese people and, Thailand people, like, they don't think of themselves that way. But China does. Orientals are technically another phrase for Chinese people, and not everybody's Chinese was the argument back and forth. But yeah, so the Chinese call their country Zhongguo, the center, the middle. Everything else comes from them. That's the name of the country. And Chinese people are called 中国人, center land people, like middle land people. We are the people at the center of it. Foreigners are called 外国人, which means outsiders, outside lands people. 外国人. So whenever you talk about, like, whether Americans call people illegals or calling people foreigners, and that's kind of a slam, China only refers to people as foreigners. 外国人. That's the only word. And they don't mean any offense by it. That's literally just worldview. So, yeah. Chinese feet wrapping, feet binding was a thing for royal concubines. It wasn't necessarily something that was spread throughout the lands, and certainly not poor people.
And of course they want Biden. Of course they want Biden. But guys, you know what? We're no longer getting ripped off. And
yeah, guys, no, we're not getting ripped off by China at all. Like, this is
China. I love China.
我爱中国. That's what that says right there. Which is love. 我爱中国.
I spent quite a bit of time over there last year. Really,
For what?
really loved it. Looking at
做什么?
different projects.
Yeah. 在做什么?
It's a market,
doing what?
Market that I think we'll be in very soon.
Do you have any plans for China?
We have a lot of plans for China. So we've got an amazing buyer base.
我们有中国的 big business.
That's from
Yeah, so I can feel my way around a bunch of letters, the characters, the Hans.
farmers are doing better than ever before.
What's the word for Oriental? I thought the word Oriental came from Latin word for East. No, the word they use is because they primarily orient themselves. That's why it caught on as Oriental, not the Orient. They orient the world based on where they are, not the East. I mean, there's overlap in a lot of Latin words, of course, but that's where they come up with it. And they hold on to it more strongly. It means more to them as a value point than it did before, even.
Guys, we love the farming community. We really do.
That's why I drive a truck nowhere.
And then you look at prescription drugs. Look at prescription drugs, right? So we are getting ripped off by the entire world. So, Pfizer or one of these Merck or one of these companies would make a drug. And they
Why did I leave? Why did I learn Mandarin? Vietnam themselves call them the Pearl of the Orient. Yeah, that's because the word Oriental and Orient became a normalized phrase for a long time. But the pushback and where it became Asian and why it was important for everybody was that the Chinese were locked in on being the Orientals in this phrase, and everybody else around them, while playing with that thing, eventually recognizes the difference in these cultures, and there's a difference in these countries, and they don't want to group them together. It became offensive. Now, the same offense isn't found necessarily about Europeans, which are just people from Europe, which would be a rather broad brush to paint, French, Spanish, German, Swiss, Swedish, Belgian, Eastern European, and even Eastern European blankets them off into another thing. That they would be the pearl of Europe, right? That's the kind of idea.
Sell it to an American for $10 a pill. But they would sell it to somebody who lives in France or Germany or anywhere else around the world. They were selling it for like 50 cents, 60 cents, $1. And so my father comes in saying, let me ask you a question. Why are you selling the same drug that you're selling to an American for $10 to somebody in France for $1? Why?
Because they have a national health service that buys those things in bulk.
Is that happening? Well, he goes, no, you're not subsidizing the cost of the research and development of these drugs by using Americans' hard-earned money. You're not doing that. So he did a little thing the other day. It's called Most Favored Nations. Everybody did?
No.
Have you heard of this? So you can't sell a pharmaceutical to a foreign nation.
Wait, there's an LGBTQ Trump rally? No, there's not. There was a gathering that they had, but there's not a whole rally, no. By the way, he might already... What the hell? Going to weather? What the... Is he up yet? Jesus, what kind of... What are they playing? Oh my God, they're playing Ivanka at a gathering?
In that regard, but the
here's the contrast. Eric doing shtick at this rally on the side.
This country, and we love the people of this country, and it's worth fighting for every single day. And it's really that simple. And I will say, for all the negativity.
Speaking of that simple, let's go back to Eric.
All the noise and certainly all the incredibly biased media coverage.
It's terrible. It's terrible, honestly. Don't they realize
that the president receives the
Yeah.
outpouring of love, prayers, it's beautiful.
Love and prayers, pretty much love and prayers, that's it.
It's amazing. And I would say that far outweighs any little bit of negativity that's thrown his way. Although he probably has more incoming than any human being on the face of the planet in that regard. But the love is so great as well that it's...
No. I mean, a lot of us have more invective in our hearts for even somebody like Vladimir Putin or whatever. But Vladimir Putin doesn't have the president of the United States running interference for him. So he probably doesn't get all the bad hits that he deserves.
It's a really beautiful counterbalance.
Isn't
but no, I mean, to be...
By the way, I don't know if I'm going to buy the hand cream you're selling, but I would like to hear more. And the fellow who's coming out in a couple of minutes to teach me about whether cleaning my gutters, is he single?
In this business, you have to do it for the impact.
In this business of politics. They don't call it politics business for nothing.
And that's what he's all about. And
what's the weird voice she had? I don't know. I have no idea what her voice sounds like. I'm listening to this woman speak, but I have no idea what her voice sounds like because this is not her nose, and therefore this is not her voice. Her voice is being filtered through a smaller sonic canal than it would have naturally received. So I don't know what her voice sounds like. No one does.
Especially when you will upset the status quo and really...
I'm not wrong. Christopher Steele doesn't know what it sounds like. He knows what it sounds when she has a snot whistle, but you don't know...
take the country in a new and better direction, you have to be unafraid of the backlash you'll receive, and he is very unafraid.
Yeah, if I would say anything about him, he seems unafraid.
And has more conviction.
By the way, all anger is based on fear of loss. Little psychological moment. I mean, I'm not a trained psychologist or psychiatrist, and, so I couldn't, join a police department, to pull over 100-mile-an-hour speeders on their way to a Trump rally or stop someone with a gun just by having them do breathing exercises. But I do pay attention. And one of the things you'll notice is that people don't get angry unless there's something to lose. So anger at its root is a fear of loss, loss of face, embarrassment, loss of a relationship, loss of physical goods that they own being stolen, things being destroyed or broken, messes being made, so time is stolen from them. It's about loss, always. Anger is always about loss, and largely it's about fear of loss if it isn't actually happening in the moment. Yes, she really slept with Christopher Steele, allegedly.
Than anyone I've ever met.
Yeah, loss of power, but it's fear.
And
thank you, Narg. Yes, I got to sign off, guys. I've got work to do. So we'll do, and I'll go longer next week or whatever. But I've got to shoot some sketches, and I've only got a limited time to do some of that stuff. So I appreciate you guys jumping in here with me. Have an early night. It's so hard to let you go. It's so hard to let you go. But there's extra programming if you're missing out. You can go back and watch the later part of the stream from yesterday where I did Rudy Giuliani's evidence drop, which was just... I watched a chunk of Steve Bannon talk to Sebastian Gorka about the evidence today, and it was their whole thing was 2 hours. It was a 2-hour live stream, and I was like, they gotta at least show something. At least the stuff that was in the New York Post. Like, they've had this stuff, so they have to know more than the New York Post does, and they've got fewer limitations journalistically even than the New York Post does, so why aren't they showing it? It was, I was pissed. I was like, maybe I'll be able to dive into this and they'll show some stuff and I can rebut it, but they won't even hold up any goddamn thing. They won't show you any of the info. It's maddening. So anyways, all right, I'm dumping out. I'm sure there will be little clips later that I'll grab for the next round of things. Maybe late tonight when I'm crazed and up late, I'll grab chunks of craziness from these things and just kind of feed it in. We'll go to Aaron Rupar's Twitter feed and I'll just talk about the parts he picks out. But I like the fact that we pick out the parts that everybody else ignores. So anyways, we'll figure it out. I gotta go run, I gotta go work. You guys are wonderful, love you, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you guys for the subs, thank you for the bits and the tweets and all that kind of stuff, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, cheers. Bye.
Free health care for illegal Burmese, the Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese.
I don't read, obviously.
Free health care for illegal
Immortal principles. Immortal principles.
Illegal
Michigan gave us Motang. They're not allowed to be offensive, unfortunately. We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges. When they gaze upon Yosemites, Burmese. Federal. You can climb right over their face. For Iowa values. For Iowa values. For Iowa values. For Iowa values. Burmese. For Iowa values. Hydrosonic. So we're going to going to a level that nobody can ever turn course on us, nobody can ever change.
Illegal, yeah, look. They come after us from every angle. You know the expression? You know the expression? They come after us from every angle. They're after us. And we're here, and they're not. Biden is the living embodiment of the corrupt political class. Corrupt political class. Illegal, yeah, look.
First Lady's doing great, and I would say fully recovered or just about fully recovered. But we are fully recovered, and I am.